The Warriors are so dangerous because every defender here is scared to play in the gap. Mitchell Robinson is thinking, hey, if I play off and try to provide help, Pajensky can swing it to Draymond, get the ball back and hit an open three, and I won't be there to help. Mikal Bridges is certainly not going to play off of Curry because it's Curry. Jalen Brunson doesn't want to play off of Moses Moody because he's scared of the DHO with Draymond Green and Moody. And when you have no help defense, the last thing you can do is gamble. And that's what OG Anunoby does here. Before the trade deadline, the Lakers and Warriors both struggled with connectiveness defensively, poor energy, and just not being able to consistently create good looks. But since the deadline, both teams have transformed into two of the most connected, consistent, and efficient teams in the entire NBA, and literally over the span of weeks. And don't just take my word for it. This is a chart that shows the Warriors' defensive efficiency rating each month since the start of the season. It's calculated like golf, so the lower the number, the more efficient they are. And up until this point, they were in the bottom half in defense in the league. And since this point, they're the second most efficient defensive team in the entire league. This point is the trade deadline. And here's the same chart for the Lakers. Before the deadline, they were 15th, and since they're the 4th. So both teams have changed a lot, and they've changed for the better. But one thing that hasn't changed is this guy right here, and the effect that he has on his team. This season, when Steph has dropped under 30 points, the Warriors have won 48% of their games, and when Steph has dropped over 30 points, they've won 75. So it's clear, if you want a chance at beating the Warriors in a 7-game series, you need to mitigate Steph Curry. And by studying Curry's game and inefficiencies over the past couple days, I've discovered the 3 strategies a team must implement to contain him. And I've also discovered that there's no team better fit to execute these strategies than the Los Angeles Lakers. Draymond has set this pin down for him over 1 billion times. And the one thing we've learned is that you have to switch. Look at Mikal Bridges signaling for the switch. Precious Achiuwa doesn't see it, so now you're in the blender. When you play in the drop against Steph, it's going to be a bucket every time. What should happen here, Precious Achiuwa should be up, Josh Hart should rotate to Draymond Green, and the Knicks defense should be in rotation completely. But watch the Lakers' elite ability to help and rotate here. Jared Vanderbilt's in the help, Steph Curry feels like he's beat the line of defense, Austin Reeves recovers, and Vanderbilt gets the block. JJ Redick is elite. He knows that you need to blitz Curry when he's coming off of a pin down. Here, he does it. Look at Rui Hachimura, not giving him any space, doubling him, like I've been talking about. Bigs are so scared to blitz when Curry comes off a screen because they're so scared to leave their man and create the 4-on-3 on the backside. But the one thing those bigs have to realize is that whoever you're leaving to guard Steph Curry is less of a threat than Steph Curry. But watch the Lakers here as they show expertise in blitzing and rotating. They blitz Curry, forcing the pass, LeBron rotates and gets the steal. It's clockwork. So from this film, we learned that the best ways to defend Steph and the Warriors is picking him up 94 feet, switch on every off-ball screen, and blitz him. And the Lakers are definitely well-versed in making that happen. But obviously, with every defensive strategy comes a trade-off. And the trade-off with using these strategies on Steph is that you are giving his teammates the freedom to beat you. And there's one teammate in particular that we can't let have that opportunity. When Jimmy and Steph are getting the ball to big man on the elbow or on the wing, they're going to get the ball back. So you can't turn your head and you can't even look at the center, because once you take your eyes off of those guys, they're gonna cook you. Gets the ball to Quentin Post, takes his eyes off of Jimmy Butler. The second he takes his eyes off of Jimmy Butler, he gets the ball, and once Jimmy gets the ball in the paint, it's over. Here's another great example of how to guard Jimmy Butler. You're up in his face, forcing him to the baseline, and Jalen Duren stays in the help. You need a help defender. So what does that cause? It causes a Draymond 3. He makes it cool. You live with that every day of the week. Jimmy Butler is really good at collapsing the defense. He creates open shots for his team, and he's just super intelligent. And one thing Jimmy loves to do that can kill a team is take advantage of mismatches. When he sees a smaller defender in the paint, he is going to try and post them up and get a lob from Draymond or Steph. He does this every single time. Watch here. Pajensky sets the back screen so he can get the mismatch on McBride. Draymond throws the lob, and now Jimmy's within 2 feet. And when he's within 2 feet, it's a bucket. Watch here. Same back screen to get Jimmy on D'Angelo Russell. This is a problem. This is something the Lakers need to account for, but they're going to be very good at accounting for because they're a huge team. Jokic is trying to front and get the ball like Jimmy Butler does. Jared Vanderbilt's not letting him get position. Jimmy Butler won't be able to do that on Luka Doncic, or Austin Reeves, or Jared Vanderbilt, or Dorian Finney-Smith. There's a really good way to guard the Warriors here. Even though Isaiah Stewart's late for the help, he gets there, stops Jimmy Butler, and you end up with a lightly contested Draymond 3. If that is the shot you're going to force the Warriors to take, you will live with that 100 days of the week. you don't need to always double Jimmy. Isaiah Stewart messes up because he leaves his feet here and lets Jimmy get the step on him. But when you got Jared Vanderbilt and Dorian Finney-Smith and Gabe Vincent, they're not going to leave their feet and they're going to have good contests on Jimmy. Say Cade Cunningham's Luka. This could be a situation I see happen to the Lakers if they play the Warriors in a series. Jimmy Butler gets the ball and Cade Cunningham completely loses his defensive stance and takes his eyes off of the ball, and right when he does that, it's over. That's the problem that Luka has, and we need him to stay alert and in a defensive stance even when his man doesn't have the ball. The coverages I'm recommending aren't anything Steph or Jimmy hasn't seen before. They're not Thomas Edison inventing the light bulb, but they're still the best ways to mitigate them. So, to successfully defend Jimmy Butler, you've got to force him baseline, have defenders in the help line, and let Draymond Green shoot open threes. You also can't turn your head when Jimmy's operating off the ball near the top of the key. And you definitely can't gamble in passing lanes or leave your feet when Jimmy has the ball. Implementing these defensive strategies will work in the Lakers' favor, so we know how to best stop the Warriors on offense now. But let's not forget, the Lakers are allowed to play offense. Over the last 2 seasons, Luka has averaged 33 points per game against the Warriors, and LeBron has averaged a 35-point triple-double. The Warriors' 3 best scoring options are Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Jonathan Kuminga, while the Lakers' 3 best scoring options are Luka Doncic, LeBron James, and Austin Reeves. It's clear that that's the better trio. Now, when it comes to defense, the Warriors have Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, and Gary Payton II. That's a really good defensive trio, but the Lakers have way more depth in that category. Gabe Vincent's lockdown, Jordan Goodwin's lockdown, Jared Vanderbilt's lockdown, Dorian Finney-Smith is lockdown. You can argue the Warriors are a better defensive team, but they're both tops in the league, and the Lakers have more defensive depth. When it comes to reliable role players, the Warriors have Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody. When it comes to reliable role players on the Lakers have Rui Hachimura, who's been reliable, Jordan Goodwin, who's reliable, Dorian Finney-Smith, who's reliable, and Gabe Vincent, who's reliable. Also with a guy like Dalton Knecht, who's pretty much the Buddy Hield of the Lakers, a knockdown 3-point shooter who's inconsistent. So by every metric, really, the Lakers are a better team on paper than the Warriors. And luckily for them, the Warriors don't have great rim protection, and they definitely don't have any athletic bigs. And without one of those on your roster, beating the Lakers is very, very difficult. Watch here, Jackson sets the screen, they don't blitz. Now the Pelicans are in rotation. When Luka gets the defender on his back, what does that cause? It causes CJ McCollum to have to rotate to Jackson Hayes. And this could look a lot similar for the Warriors. If the Warriors don't blitz Luka or LeBron or Austin really, and they run the pick and roll with Jackson Hayes, I don't see how they stop this. Even any defensive lapses. Watch here as that little pass gets through because of a short defensive lapse from an incapable defender. The Pelicans gamble and allow the Lakers to get the 4-on-3 immediately. Once the Lakers get the 4-on-3, Jackson Hayes is getting the ball every time. And boom. Right when Luka Doncic beats the defense, it's over. The help comes, the lob is right there. The scary thing about having a lob threat like Jackson Hayes is that whenever Luka LeBron beat their initial defender, which happens often, Jackson Hayes is always going to be there for that lob. Trey Murphy is trying to double to make sure they don't have to send help so they don't get the lob. The double doesn't work, the help has to come, Zion has to rotate and can't. And it's a lob. I just don't see how the Warriors are going to be able to stop this. And if they do collapse and stop the Jackson Hayes lob, then Gabe Vincent's going to be open in the corner, or Austin Reeves is going to be open in the corner, or Dorian Finney-Smith. The Lakers have too many options, and Luka and LeBron are too smart with the ball in their hands, but that when the Warriors defense picks their poison's going to be a lot stronger and more lethal than the poison the Lakers are going to have to pick on defense. And to make matters worse for the Warriors, against the Lakers in the 2023 playoffs, we all remember that series, Curry shot 43% from the field and 34% from 3, which is way less efficient than he was in the regular season that year. And oh yeah, Jared Vanderbilt guarded him in that playoff series. The Lakers are also 3-0 against the Warriors this season, and on defense, they've been tops in the league at rotating. And we've already proved that in order to beat the Warriors, you need to be as good as the Lakers are in that avenue. Yes, Luka Doncic is horrible on the defensive end. If the Warriors try to hunt Luka Doncic, because we've seen teams do that, we're going to send a double. And once we send a double and the Warriors play 4-on-3, we're going to live with it because we know we're one of the best rotating teams in the league. So I'm not super concerned about it. I think we're perfectly fit to stop this Warriors team. If I had to predict, I would take the Lakers in 6 or 7. This Warriors team is really damn good. They have experience and they've mastered cadences on the court. Jimmy Butler is fit in seamlessly, but the Lakers' defensive prowess mixed with their offensive firepower is going to come together to shut this team down in 6 or 7 games. I hope this matchup happens, and I hope we're all there to see it.